So this week, not only did the United States Supreme Court say that they will take into consideration whether or not Donald Trump has immunity from being prosecuted, which of course is the appealing of the ruling from Judge Tanya Chutkan recently, where she said, no, buddy, you do not have immunity. So the Supreme Court this week not only said, yeah, we'll take a look at that, but they also granted Special Prosecutor Jack Smith's request to go ahead and put it on a speed run. They're going to issue an expedited decision, allegedly. Maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 3 months. We really don't know what expedited means with the U.S. Supreme Court, but they said they're going to do it, and they're going to do it as quickly as possible. That's all we know. Well, I take that back, because we know another thing. We know that Donald Trump and his team are pissed off about this decision. See, even though they wanted the Supreme Court to weigh in on it and, of course, give Trump the immunity he believes he deserves, they're not happy about the expediting of this process, right? They were doing this not just as a way to possibly get out of trouble, but as a way to delay the trial. So if the Supreme Court comes back, in 2 days, in 2 weeks or whatever, and says, yes, you have immunity or no, you don't, Trump's like, great, you didn't delay anything, you did it too fast. You've ruined my last-ditch effort to delay this trial. So he got pissed, and his people, I guess, released this statement. This is allegedly from a spokesperson, but it reads exactly like a post Trump would put on Truth Social. And here is what they said. Crooked Joe Biden's henchman, deranged Jack Smith, is so obsessed with interfering in the 2024 presidential election with the goal of preventing President Trump from retaking the Oval Office. Smith is willing to try for a Hail Mary by racing to the Supreme Court and attempting to bypass the appellate process. Deranged Smith may need to be reminded that the Supreme Court has not been kind to him, including by handing down a rare unanimous rebuke when the court overturned him 8-0 in the McDonnell case. As President Trump has said over and over again, the prosecution is completely politically motivated. There is absolutely no reason to rush the sham to trial except to injure President Trump and tens of millions of his supporters. President Trump will continue to fight for justice and oppose these authoritarian tactics. Yeah, you see, the thing is, by Smith going to the Supreme Court saying, you guys take this up and you do it expeditiously, by him doing that, he is cutting out the appellate process. Sure, I'll give you that much out of your statement. The rest of it is total bupkis. Now, here's the thing, though. Had Trump gone through the appellate process, even if he won at the appellate court, what would happen then? Smith would have appealed it to the Supreme Court. If Trump lost at the appellate process, what would he do then? He'd appeal it to the Supreme Court. So they're really just cutting out the middleman because both parties would have appealed whatever ruling that appellate court came out with. So it ultimately would have gone to the Supreme Court. Trump's just pissed that Jack Smith outsmarted him once again and totally killed his big delay tactic. Because it takes a hell of a lot longer to go through the appeals process, through the appellate court, then you get the ruling, then you go to the Supreme Court, they put it on the docket, yada yada. Smith said, nope, we're going straight to the Supreme Court, we're going to do it quickly, you're not going to delay this, I'll see you in March. And hopefully, that's what happens.
What are you doing? It's over. The video's over. I'm done complaining about everything, and that's it. The end. Leave. Well, okay, if you're going to stick around, maybe you should give us a like, a comment, a share, or just subscribe to stay connected with all of our content. Or maybe you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks. Just follow the link in the description. Now, go. Just go.